So as we last left off, Calin, just to give a summary, Calin was an advisor to the Dwarven Prince, Duncan, and he was given a warrior's farewell by a funeral pyre, which Grin aided in. He died during battle against the bandit farmers, and his armor was fastened to his mount, and then tethered to Duncan's mount, and his ashes were preserved in an empty flask. Can I have everyone roll a perception check, please?
26, I saw it. Whatever it was.
What happens is Bryn is incanting and his back is turned. He's facing the funeral pyre and he just erupts it in flame. And he's so enamored in the spell that he's not really aware of his surroundings. But for the rest of you, you see the farmer leader actually get up, the one that Malachi just knocked out. And since Malachi's right next to him, he sees him move a little bit. And you look down and he's starting to crawl away towards the fields.
I grab him by the nape of his neck.
Do a attack roll.
Oh,
Yep.
grapple check.
Okay.
Oh.
So once again, you see his cloak, just like what Duncan was doing earlier, and you grab him by the cloak, and he's just like, ah! And he's sitting there, he's like, let me go. So he's trying to get
you're
up.
going.
You stomp on his cloak. He's like, ah! He's like, you gotta let me go. Like he's basically trying to flee because he's just scared right now. He's sort of panicked. He sees like 3 or 4 of his fellow aides like dead, and like 2 of them are like knocked out, and he's just like, what are you gonna do with me?
That remains to be said. Why did you ambush our friends?
It was gonna be easy pickings. You guys were supposed to not come back. You guys were supposed to die in the forest, and then we would have had these 2 dwarves here for us to take their armor and
so
yes.
So I ask him like, and I'll of course trying to intimidate him at the same time. I basically asked him, not supposed to come back. What did you know of that little girl? Are they
The
fairies?
orphan girl. Oh, the wood nymph? Yeah.
What do you know of that nymph?
He's like, well, I told you earlier. Weren't you listening?
Actually, I've kind of forgotten.
He was basically saying that the crops are drying up. There were no rains. So they were basically having a really bad season. And a wood nymph came. And she basically demanded for them to send like sort of sacrifices into the forest in order for her to provide the farmers with rain. So they were basically at her whim, and they had to comply, or else she wouldn't let it rain. Actually, she could have made it, cause a drought instead, which she probably was doing. And so he's like, well, she was asking for sacrifices, and we did what we could, and we threw a stranger every now and then, and she seemed fine with it.
So we were supposed to be the sacrifice. Why did you ambush our friends?
Well, they had these nice little valuable armors. We know we could get some money for that.
What do you guys want to do with them?
You got him in hand.
Well, because if we leave him alone, they're going to starve anyway. We kill him, then Marty's going to come down on us.
Well,
So either way, we're screwed. We just walk away. Is he going to come after us?
I don't think he will. Just let him go then.
So he's at your, you have him by the scruff of his cloak, and he's not able to get away.
Ask Duncan. What do you want to do with him?
We could just knock him out and then go away.
He killed Duncan's friends. So
But he's
I'm asking him,
defenseless
what do you want to do with him? And
But he's
like
defenseless right now.
Huh?
But he's defenseless.
Miles,
I
can you
know,
roll a perception check again?
Okay. I also want to do a sense motive to make sure he's telling me the truth. So, perception.
Sense motive. That's my worst. Another worst spell for me.
Oh, okay. You notice that he's tinkering around with his cloak, particularly the upper part of it.
Okay.
This robe?
I grab. Yeah, I grab what he's reaching out, what he's reaching for.
He's trying to undo his cloak.
Yeah, he's trying to undo his cloak.
Oh, I thought he's trying to whatever.
Pick him up by the neck.
So I slap his hand away, and basically I'm holding him by his neck now.
Okay. Do you want to do your sense motive?
Yeah.
Okay. He seems to be telling the truth about the nymph and about the drought.
Do we want to save the town, or do you want to just keep on moving?
I don't even know what we could do for this town.
Yeah, I mean...
I think you did enough damage to the town.
Yeah.
They're not going to want your help.
Yeah,
After
we
you killed,
kind of screwed them up.
one thing that I didn't really make clear too well is that there were a group of bandits, and those were the people that were surrounding Duncan and them. And there were also like farmers in the field, which were just doing labor. And you guys sort of
They're
got
protecting the
confused
town.
and were attacking the farmers when they were probably a different faction, and they weren't really hindering you guys too much. But oh well.
Let's just go.
Yeah, it looks like right now one of those factions is done because nobody's hitting us, and
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Well, technically.
What does Duncan want to do with this guy?
We pressed on time. We've already spent enough time here. These bandits, they're just trying to make things difficult for us. Let's be off. Let's be gone
go.
with this place.
All right.
Okay.
Knock
Too
him
late,
out.
right.
I'm gonna knock
Let's
him
go.
out and leave him.
You're gonna knock him out and leave him?
Yep. With non-lethal damage to emphasize.
You want to tell
Okay.
him that?
Go ahead and you
Wait,
start
no,
lifting
no.
up your fist and go ahead and roll it.
Nice headbutt him. Yeah, I got him dropping.
We're gonna tell him. You want to tell him so he
What?
doesn't come after us later?
He looks at Bryn. He's like,
I was
Bryn Rory. That will be a name I won't forget.
Yeah. Don't forget that name.
Yeah, you smack him resound, and he just crumples to the ground. His eyes just roll up, and he just falls to the ground, unconscious.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's
It's-
breathing.
Can we tell?
not lethal. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave them. I'll
Okay.
get back and go on top of my war bison.
And you guys are riding your mounts pretty hard throughout the rest of the day. It's already like dusk time right now,
Mhm.
and you guys want to put some space between you and Meli, this place called Meliu,
Okay.
because just some bad things happen, and Duncan is sort of like brooding right now, and he just wants to get as far away from this community as possible.
We're all for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Wanting to travel as far away you can, you guys press your horses pretty hard, and you are now entering a small village called Kolho. And it's a small town, sort of like Meliu, but maybe a little bit bigger. There's also additional farming communities and whatnot. But you guys just go through the town, not wanting to stop. And you, Duncan's like still thinking he's pressed for time, and you guys want to make up for some time lost.
Okay.
And you keep on riding your mounts, and you notice that they're starting to fatigue. Their muscles are twitching. They're starting to neigh more and whine as you ride them hard.
You have a war bison, dude. Things are tired.
Yeah, but you guys, for 2/3 of the day, you guys been traveling on them for pretty much the whole day. So they're starting to get tired, and you're starting to see less and less civilization. And if you keep on pressing on forward more, you're going to be hitting what's called the plains of Sylvania, and that's like this.
Transylvania?
No, Sylvania. And that's like this huge, expansive, like flat lands of grass, and there's not much out there in terms of civilization. So, you guys think that the next establishment you guys see might be a good idea, and you guys are all communicating this as you're riding.
Okay.
Duncan is he looks a little concerned right now as you guys are riding.
So ask him why he's concerned. You look concerned, dwarf.
He states that he's not too familiar with the route or which way to go because Calin was the one that normally does the sort of like the navigation. So
Okay.
he knows that the King's Road will definitely take you to the Citadel, which is where you want to go, but he doesn't know what pit stops that was to be planned or what hotel or what inns to
Hotels?
visit.
I don't want
Hotels. So he's a
What
little
place,
confused
yeah.
on that part. So he's just riding as fast as he can, and he's starting to notice that there are less and less sort of like buildings, less and less sort of
Ranger!
establishments.
So
Yeah.
I pull out my phone and I go to hotels.com.
No signal.
No signal.
Deet, deet. No signal.
All
So,
right.
is there a way for us to check around the area if it's a good place to stop for the night or something?
Dude, you're a ranger.
I know, that's what I'm asking.
Do survival check.
That's what
You
I'm
could do-
asking.
You could do a knowledge local. Why don't you guys roll a knowledge local? Malachi knows that this is definitely near the edge of the town, and you guys are getting closer to the outskirts, and pretty soon you guys are gonna hit the plains, which is nothing. It's just dark and a bunch of grass, and it's getting very close to dusk time. The sun's already set. You just see little hues of red and purple fill the sky as you guys only have about 20 more minutes of light. which is fine. You guys could have other light sources, but it's beginning. The sun is already set, and you guys are traveling pretty hard, and you guys slow down because your horses are starting to wear and they're starting to tire, and their mouths have all this froth from galloping, for like 3 or 4 hours already. And you come upon a tavern, and you see the sign that says the Crimson Goblet. And this is like, I think with Malachi, with his knowledge, he's like, oh, you think that this is very at the outskirts of town, but it's also pretty shady because it's not near the rest of this town.
Yeah, so I show my Yelp. Yeah, you got 2 stars, guys. Be careful.
Like, this would probably be like half a star.
What food do they serve?
I want mutton.
Oh, great. That means I better put a cloak around myself.
Oh, because you're just pretty posh. You might want to do it. And you might not want to say your name, right when you're about to kill people. I know you didn't know that. But so this looks to be a tavern that's adjacent on the King's Road, and it seems to be the only establishment nearby. You can, as a group, you guys could push forward down the road into the darkness to see if there are some better options, or you can just grin and bear it and check out this one and see what's available.
Sleep under the stars
And get robbed.
Sure.
Or sleep in the inn and get robbed.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
Get
too.
robbed. I mean,
You guys were just in a forest that had these tree creatures. I don't know.
yeah, that nymph could be looking for us.
Fine.
Malachi, you know that once you get past the city of Kolho, it's a full day's ride into the plains of Sylvania, and there's nothing in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So in
It's
other
a
words,
plane.
take a break,
Sleep in the stars.
right?
All right, fine.
In
We'll
other
go
words,
inside.
take a break.
We're not going to meet someone called Khal Drago.
Wait, how far? Yeah, how far have we traveled?
You've traveled the whole day so far, and it's dusk time of the first day.
Yeah, it's time to rest.
Yeah, but no, I'm worried that we might have some relatives. That may have
Oh,
to
you
watch
guys are
out
in a
for.
different city now, so
Yeah. Just want to make sure.
yeah, you guys are way past that town. That was just
Not
that
fit
was
of a
like
farmer.
Okay.
that was like midday, late afternoon. You guys decide that rather waiting to spend the night camping on the roadside, you decide to go ahead and give this shanty shack of a tavern a try. And Duncan sort of agrees, like, we could sit in here and we could look at our map and sort of plan out where we should be next. So he goes into Calin's belongings and he actually takes like the armor with him. He doesn't leave it on the horse because you guys are in a pretty shady area. He has like the map and some coin purse of Calin and some other stuff.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that coin quiz.
Yep, that's a half a star.
Oh, that's pretty shady, yeah.
That's a half a star.
Dirt and filth cover the windows, making it difficult to peer inside this tavern. There's like soot on it, and there's like frosted glass. It's not clear. This is something that Bryn's not used to because, let's say, a refined taste into
Yes.
some of the
Suck
more
up.
elegant establishments. And so this is definitely not on his list.
Look at this
dirt.
Oh, God.
Stingy pureblood.
Are you talking to me, Half-Blood?
Oh, it's like I grimace. It's like, yeah, keep on talking, little one.
So you guys look and, there's a window that you pass through and you can't really see much through it because of all the dirt and soot. So you guys have gathered outside the tavern and it's called the Crimson Goblet. It's this dingy, you see like smoke coming out of the chimney. You see it's active and you see that there's light within the tavern, but you can't see through the glass because it's pretty fogged up from soot and dirt. It's a, sort of a rundown. This is near the edge of outskirts of town, so it's a little more rougher out here, and that's pretty much about it. You guys are near the front door.
It's a perfect thieves guild.
We take the table by the door.
I knew you'd say
Yes.
someone to say that.
I know. So, hey, Howard, Frank, just
Yeah.
let you know the context. When we were first playing this,
Like
So
our
it's
very
actually
first game.
very first game,
With a different DM.
different DM, we go to a town, and we're like, and he showed us a bunch of tables in the square. I'm like, all right, so where do you guys want to sit? Like, oh, we'll take this. We'll take this table. And then all of a sudden he tells us, oh yeah, all the other tables are full of orcs and goblins, and we're like totally surrounded. We're like, dude, I would have sat there.
What the?
I was so pissed, dude. I was like, we didn't notice a bunch of orcs walking in. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I know. And like Dude, if you would have told us that, we would have sat, at that table in the very back. We would have been closer to the door.
No, dude, I was like, what? And they're all looking at us mean. I'm like, I would have sat there, dude.
Oh,
So
you
we-
guys must have played that one module, huh?
It was something he made up, but
was-
it became a
was-
running gag after that.
And we almost died. We almost
Oh
died.
yeah, we all pretty much died.
Still standing.
The door's open now. Let me put the door open on that. It's not closed.
Take a quick peek inside.
Well, it's late.
Yeah.
It's time for a drink, right?
Yeah, you're at the window. Like I said, you can't really see much to the window.
Oh, can I go in?
Yeah, you could go in.
Well,
Yeah.
taking my cloak, I cover my entire self except for my neck.
And can you explain why you're doing that?
Well, I don't want people to see what I look like. I prefer that they don't see how posh I am.
I guess what race is predominant inside there?
As you're looking around as you enter the door, it's mainly humans, and you see one dwarf in the center of the room, talking jovially with some other people. There seems to be some type of bartender behind the bar.
Okay.
Big guy.
Yep.
We're here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this guy's the bartender, and there's a group of party people right here.
Party
They look like they're drunk.
They're a little loud. They're getting pretty inebriated. You see that they're just drinking right now.
Yeah,
I want to go up and order drinks for me and Nahum.
I'm fully cloaked as well. I don't
Okay,
want to
so-
show off my super armor,
What about I'll bring Duncan in. That's fine.
and I don't say anything. I just look for danger. Stranger danger.
Well, I walk
I don't-
slowly and
Because I'm worried. I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to take my my panther in, right?
Who's
I know.
stopping you?
Well, who's stopping me? Exactly.
So
I don't see bouncer.
You see a greasy owner, and he's wearing a wife beater, and it's obviously used to sort of wipe down the tables, the dishes, dirty hands, blood splatters, everything is like on that filthy wife beater of his. And he comes over to you and says, "Well, just don't stand there, letting the cold in. Come on in."
All right, I'll close the door behind me. Make sure everyone's all in.
Is he eyeing me? No. I can just kind of hang out.
Okay, so
Go
what do you
anywhere
can
you
tell?
want.
No.
What do you can tell Cringer to do?
Let's see if we can sneak him in. Can we sneak him in?
Do it.
Yeah, once the cat comes in, he's like, "Unless the cat's for tonight's dinner, it better scram." So he's like yelling at you for
Yeah.
bringing the cat in.
Let's see.
I can patrol outside.
kind of look around. I was like, oh no. Did I see a bouncer?
Where do you? Can I
It
see
looks
that?
like a pig pen. Looks like pets live in here.
Cringer's trained, right? You just be like,
He's
tell him
trained.
to sit and stay.
He's an assist cat.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well over here.
All right,
Sorry,
I'm gonna
Chris.
scoop around. You guys tell me.
Alright.
Bye, Solo. Our only
See ya.
female in the group.
I'm gonna
As
keep
Sol-
peering it through the windows.
Go ahead and peer through the windows. You're basically seeing what they see, but it's all fogged over. You're having a difficult time. So yeah, just the windows aren't clean. And he says, so the bartender's like, "Where you guys be sitting?" And you guys are all just like meandering around. Duncan is sort of near the door. He sits down at, like you said, near the front door. So he sits down at the table over here.
Yeah, we'll take this table over here, mate.
I'll take the corner. I'm
Flynn, you can go to the
observing.
bar if you want. You don't have to stay with the group.
Fine. I'll order a pitcher, I guess.
Okay. So he basically says, "Tonight's special. We have stew and rum. So what you be having?"
Oh, both. Definitely both.
So he tells you that it's gonna be 1 silver piece per person for the stew and rum.
Oh,
Okay.
it's not me. That's nothing. It's not me.
Okay.
Feeling,
So how many are you
feeling
gonna
good
order?
after that last encounter? I wanna encourage that kind of behavior.
How many gonna order?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an extra order of stew. I'm gonna sneak out to Cringer.
Okay. So you order 7 dishes, and he's like, 7 dishes, and he's like, "Okay, I'll be right back." And so some of the patrons, as you're waiting for the food, Flynn, you can stay there if you want, but the cook basically goes over and he starts heading towards the kitchen area that you believe. "Palosh, get me some more stews, 7 of them." So you hear him like they're cooking in the background, and you hear some of the patrons. There's a little bit of murmur. They're talking. They're having a good time with themselves. They're not paying any particular attention to you guys, but you hear that they say, from when you gather, they're talking about hunting. You hear the dwarf say, "'Tis been slim pickings the whole week. It seems like the deer have all migrated westward. maybe to the darkened forest. And you hear the human in red. He's like, bah, and he spits on the ground. "'Tis a bad, cursed place. My own brother, he wagered me 2 gold to spend night in the forest." And you hear the dwarf saying, 2 gold's a lot, just to sleep outside? And he's like, "Aye, for 100 gold, I still wouldn't sleep in that cursed forest. That place is haunted, I tells you. Let's push further south tomorrow for game." So they're talking about, like, you know, they're hunters from what you could gather.
They probably smell like it too.
Yeah. Malachi, you actually know that the forest is further out, maybe a day's ride westward, you know, sort of in the direction that you guys are going. There's smoke that permeates this tavern. There's a warm fire that you guys are right next to, and it's sort of cozy because it's getting cold at night. Remember, once again, it's autumn time. So you guys are sitting there waiting for the food, and the owner comes out. He brings you first a round of ale, or sorry, a round of rum.
Thank you, good man.
And he puts down 7 tankards. You know, he has 2 handfuls, and these are like pretty beefy sized tankards of rum. And he sets them down. They're like, you know, they're like spilling all over the place. He doesn't care. And you see sort of like, you know, some of the little cockroaches scampering in the corner, especially where you guys are, because you guys are near the corner. And he's like,
D rating.
"The stews, they'll be taking a little bit longer, but I'll bring them out soon." And so he goes back to the kitchen area, and you hear shuffling, you hear noise being, you know, they're doing some cooking and whatnot. And so
what are those guys in the middle eating?
They're not eating. They're just having the ale or the rum right now. You see that the tankers are full, and they're sort of inebriated. They've been here a little bit while, and they sort of seem at ease with the bartender. Like the bartender knows them maybe because he's sort of like giving them like, you know, more rum as he walks on by. So he's pretty used to what you can see that these guys are here. It's not like they're first timers like you guys.
Okay.
Well, I'm whipping out my pipe and smoking a little bit.
Okay, yeah, and these guys are also reclined. They're relaxed on the furniture in the middle of the room. They're actually taking 2 tables and just chilling with it. Well, you guys are sort of like looking around and like, you know, trying to get your wits of this area. These guys are just like chilling
And drinking a little.
and drinking a bit.
So,
Yes, I am.
so Malachi lifts up his ale, like, "Thanks for the drink, halfling."
Yay!
He smells it just to make sure it's actually rum.
Mhm.
Take a sip, make sure it's rum before I take a swig.
It's like fire water going through your
Bottoms up.
throat. It's just
Bottoms
this is hard liquor in like this big flagon, and you guys are just like drinking. It's reputable. It's like for a place like this, you expect it to be really bad, watered down or whatnot, but this actually is drinkable.
Okay.
Alright.
The bartender, he comes out, and you know, once again, this greasy guy with blood stains and grease on his shirt. You see him, he's actually behind the bar, and he has like a tankard, you know, similar to what you guys are having. He's like wiping his shirt on it, making it clean. He's like, he smells it and puts it down. He gets another one. He's like, he's like,
Nice.
and he puts it down. You guys are like,
It's
we
okay.
just drank out of these.
That's
Great.
okay. The alcohol killed it.
I'm turning green as I watch him. Yeah.
Malachi doesn't bat an eye.
Strong constitution you have there. And so all of a sudden you hear a voice from the kitchen saying, "We got 3 stews done, sir." And so he goes like, and he walks over to the kitchen, swings open the door, and then you see him come out with like a little tray, and there's 3 bowls, and he's coming to you guys, and he just chucks these 3 bowls at you guys. It's like sloshing on the table and whatnot, and he gives you some bread, and they're like, you know, rock hard. This is like stale bread.
Stale
but
bread.
with this, you know, you guys have been on the road for a full day. You guys don't really have a good lunch, so this is actually looking semi-decent until you look at the stew.
Maggots. Are maggots?
Not necessarily maggots, but it doesn't look appetizing.
Yeah, but I'll dip my bread in it. It'll make it soft.
So I asked the cook what the stew's made of.
He's like, just got some meat, whatever's that we had. The shipment comes every Wednesday. And you guys look at it, and it's pretty unappetizing.
It's stew.
He's like, it's gonna be a few more minutes. Gotta cook more meat for the rest of you lots.
Okay, so Malachi basically yells out to the 3 guys in the middle. It's like,
Mhm.
So, what do you guys think of the stew today? Good, huh?
He's like,
I dare you first.
they just glance at you guys like bah, and they all clank their glasses and stuff like that. They're just absorbed in their own party right now.
Well, I'll take my dagger, like eating dagger, and nibble the meat a bit.
The bartender goes back. He's like, I'll be bringing the rest of your order once it gets cooked up. And so he goes back to the tavern. He's behind the bar cleaning once again. Oops.
Spitting in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow him stealthily.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good idea. Just do that.
Just
as Flynn tries to go over there, I make a lot of noise, like put my heavy hand on the table, slamming it, like great stew, trying to be a little bit obnoxious to
I'm
So
not
the
with that guy. I'm not with him.
So the bartender goes back to the bar. Sorry, Mark, do you want to roll your stealth before you even move?
Oh, sure.
Go back to where you were, and remember, you're gonna have a really hard time because you're not undercover right now.
Okay.
Like minus 20 hard.
Oh.
Just walk on over there and then.
Gosh. I'll just go under the table then.
Well, you do that, and the bartender's looking. Is like, little half man, you okay there? Are you puking underneath the table? I want to clean it up and you puke.
I'm fine. I'll just go outside.
Okay, for
Fresh air.
okay, it's like
And-
he's like, those half men can't take a drink.
And
Give me
he's got a
constitutions.
our meal too.
You guys are looking at the stew, and it's a brown greenish stew, and it has little to no vegetables, but it has a bit of meat in it, so that's probably some plus. Who wants to take the stews? There's 3 of them.
I'll take one.
Oh.
Go
I'll
for
take
it.
it. Yeah, I'm hungry, man. I don't care.
Oh.
Take my
So,
bread. I dip it in
Duncan
stew.
Duncan also grabs one because he's sort of like the leader of this whole expedition. He grabs one too, and he breaks off some bread and he, like,
Yes.
dips it in there, and he starts eating. He's like, you guys be sissies. You got a stomach for anything. Who wants the third?
Nahum.
Sure, Malachi will take it.
Nahum.
No, Nahum does it. Yes.
I dare you, half-breed.
Everyone that partook of it, can you roll a fortitude save?
Yeah.
Woo! Who
me do
said
Duncan.
sorcerers are weak?
Yeah, that was a high roll for you.
Really high roll for you.
Bryn rolled you got a 19 on that. Okay. So you guys are all eating it, and with Duncan, he's used to eating anything. He has dwarves have a high constitution. They'll eat their own shoe. Bryn is pretty amazed that he's able to stomach this down and keep it down because this is pretty gross. And Malachi, he's been in the pits. He's been in the fighting arena. They get, he's been thrown food that's rotten and he'll eat it. But the meat strips, although plenty, are hard and rubbery. And the stew is way overspiced, as if to sort of masks the taste of the meat because, he knows that the meat's pretty bad. So he's just a lot of paprika, a lot of salt, a lot of pepper, just trying to make it taste better. But you guys know it's just trying to mask this meat that's pretty blech. And the meat, as you could call it that, has a consistency and flavor of a dwarven boot after it's been worn for a full weeks of non-stop marching. So that's what this meat tastes like. It's like hard, slimy, leathery, thick, and you guys could stomach it, but you guys don't get sick from it. It's just not the best thing in the world.
I hope it's not flesh, man. Human flesh. Or
Okay.
dwarven.
You see the bartender, he comes out and he has the remaining plates, the remaining 4 of them. You hear a voice saying, 4 more up for order. And so he goes into the bar and he comes back out. And once again, nonchalant, he's just chucking these bowls at you guys. It's sloshing on the table for the rest of you guys. And he goes back to the bar. And while he's going back there, he goes to these guys and he's sort of refreshing their drinks. And then he's you hear him say he's like, hey, you guys be eating anything? He's like, no, just keep the rum flowing tonight. And so they're just gonna be drinking it up tonight. And he goes back to cleaning and whatnot behind the bar.
Okay. I make sure to chug a good amount of rum to kill any of the bacteria in the soup.
Okay, so
I keep on anyway.
I presume everyone's partaking, right?
I'm gonna take a couple bowls out to control first. There you guys.
Test it out. test it out, I have to roll a fortitude.
Cringer.
Is there
Yep.
anything out here that I might be able to shoot or hunt or something?
Do you
Um,
recognize the meat by any chance? That's what I want.
Yeah,
I know you've
exactly.
done a survival check.
Oh,
That's true.
failed
Well,
it.
This is near the outskirts of town. There might be some game in the local woods. You're not sure, but you know it's up to you whether you want to try this or not.
Oh, all right,
So
let
he
me
brings
see
you
how I roll.
And how does Cringer feel about it?
Yeah, you bring Cringer along.
All right, have him smell it. Yeah, have him smell it.
You
Let's
see
Let's-
Cringer and he
that's
just
the
puts
final
his
taste.
he puts his lips like his whiskers just like sort of get into the bowl, and you see him. He's like, he looks at you, and are you gonna eat?
Cringer, eat it. It's okay.
Okay,
Dude,
so
I'm
you
gonna
give
go
him the
back in.
command, and he starts looking. He's like, he starts eating it, and you just see that he's
Cringer.
like, maybe it's like the spices, but he's not a big fan of this, and he's just like
Oh, yeah.
nibbling on it, and you know, and that's pretty much all he's doing.
Let's go.
You see him like,
No, let's go. Let's go hunt.
you see him like trying to like rip at it with his paws. He's on the ground. He's like gnawing at it.
Okay, he's going to town on it. All right,
So
let's go
are you-
hunting.
Okay, so you take him and you decide to look around further out in this area. For
Yeah,
everyone that
I have a
ate,
bad
can
feeling
you
that
do a knowledge, nature, or survival, whatever's higher? Okay, I texted some people something. You guys can take a look at that, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
We had a quick break, but you guys are eating. I presume most of you guys are eating this stew, and Solo and Cringer are outside, along with the rest of the party being inside. Have at it.
So I let everyone know that I recognize, after a few bites, I recognize the flavor, and it's definitely troll meat. I was out with another party before. It was a bunch of us halflings, and we were out in the desert, and we were ambushed by trolls, and we took them down. It was only a couple of them for the dozen or so of us, but the stupid mage, when he cast his fireball to kill the trolls, also torched all of our supplies.
Oh.
Those wizards.
So really, all we could do, you know, we were a week out. You know, we like what could we do? We had to eat the trolls that we had just essentially just cooked with the fireball, and it's a very unmistakable texture and flavor. And so I'm certain that we're eating troll meat.
Oh, I hope it doesn't come back alive in my stomach.
What about you, Solo? Do you have anything to say?
Did I figure that part out?
Yeah.
Burst in the door to tell
I
us.
can't tell. I mean,
Oh,
all right. So I have to rush in, right?
uh-huh.
And I can tell him.
It's like, no,
But,
don't eat
yeah.
it.
I'm just gonna let them know after he told the story, and then I come in and I say, "Oh yeah, hey guys, I recognize this meat that you guys are trying to serve us. Cringer, I think it's troll meat."
Let me see.
Troll meat, hey?
You see Duncan, he's
Why?
like,
Like chicken. Tastes like chicken.
you see Duncan, he's like, y'all are sissies. It's just like, he continues eating his stew. He's like, looking at you, he's like, you gonna be finished the rest of that?
I'll finish the rest, thank you. As
Okay.
I plunge my dagger.
Really?
I'm hungry, man. I don't care anymore.
Nahum doesn't eat it, and then Malachi. You know, he's been a pit fighter. He keeps on chomping.
Okay. So while you're doing that, the bartender comes out. He's doing his rounds, his typical thing. He comes out there. He refreshes the drinks of the party right here, and you know you see him doing a little bit of idle chatter. After a while, you know, 2 minutes go on by. You guys are still eating, I presume.
Yes.
He comes out your table and he has a pitcher of rum. He's like, "You guys be having a refill of this." And he looks and he sees that like Nahum's not eating. Flynn is not too appetized by it. And he's
I
like,
rolled right. I'm okay.
"You're okay?" He's like, "Kind of a gamey taste, isn't it?"
Yeah, it feels like it just keeps on coming back.
It seems like it doesn't go. Why? It's
The gift that keeps
It's-
on giving. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Thanksgiving.
pretty good actually. Thank you.
Okay. And so he's
That's my
refilling your
vacation.
drinks, and he's like, anybody want seconds? It takes a little while to cook, but we might have some more stew in the back.
I think I'm fine.
You got a troll back there, dude.
Great
He has a
fine.
troll chained up. He totally does.
I'll take more rum now.
He's
So,
like,
so who's the
I've
meat
gotta see
supplier again?
this.
he tops off your pitcher. He refreshes your drinks. He's like, oh, that be it? And he's waiting for just like the refill cost.
Sure.
Here you are, man.
Okay.
Yeah, tip him up.
So give him like 4 silvers.
Uh-huh.
He's like, topping everyone off, and he's like counting them. He's like biting the coins, like, and he puts them into his little pocket, and he goes back to the bartending area.
He doesn't put it behind his armpit.
No.
Flavor later to warm up.
I'm trying to figure out what the world view is on like eating other humanoids here. Is there like a, I don't know.
Roll knowledge nature or knowledge local.
Well, no, it's just normal culture, right?
Culture.
No, I mean, no, it's.
Well,
like,
you've been
standard practice.
primarily in the east, so you might not. That's what I'm saying. Roll a knowledge check, because you grew up in the pit as a pit fighter. You might not really understand local customs.
Okay. What am I rolling? Local?
Yeah.
Uh.
Like you've had stuff like this in the pits before. They've fed you, whatever lion, bears, unicorns, whatever they had in the pits that fell in battle. They sort of chopped it up and gave it to you guys anyways. So this is This isn't too awkward for you. But
Yeah.
for maybe Bryn and Flynn, and Duncan, maybe it's a little
Pretty
more
gay.
dubious.
It's not culturally acceptable. It's normally accepted.
No.
Okay.
For
It's
Bryn,
not
no.
common. Not
Especially
common.
it's your land, right? Let's go demand something.
No.
Sustenance.
They don't need to know what I am.
Real food.
What do we
So as you guys are sitting there just talking about the stew and just the greatness of how yummy it is, you hear all of a sudden a big thump like underneath you guys, like in this cavern area, probably right around here. And you hear the barkeeper's like, bloody hell, what was that? And he starts running to the kitchen.
Oh.
I told you. I
He's
called
cut-
it. It's a troll hidden back there.
Yeah, and they're cutting up the troll. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
No wonder it's
Anything?
Troll's perfect for that.
Being
So
sustainable-
Malachi actually, since he knows the local culture, like he kind of looks at Grin and the dwarf. What was it? The halfling kind of strangely like, finds it odd that they
Eat.
seem okay with eating it.
Satisfaction. Bryn, we have to go and demand satisfaction because he offended our honor in serving us stuff.
Charge!
Your lands, right?
Leroy Jenkins.
Hey, hey.
Kidding me? In this place? Dude, I can guarantee that we're going to have a fight with the troll on our hands.
Turn invisible and walk in. Find out what's going on.
We're gonna go find him.
Well, I have to go outside and cast a spell. I won't cast it.
Alright. Well, yeah.
Okay.
You cool with that, Flynn?
Yeah, I'm like, where you going? We gotta go find this guy. We deserve. We work hard for our money. We deserve better than this.
You like 4 silver.
I guess this is what the common people ate, right?
I don't know. It's your lands, right?
Not my lands.
For Bryn,
Don't have to do it.
this is a bit odd for you wouldn't normally, even though you're upper brow and you were born in sort of royalty, you would never eat anything like this.
Do humans normally eat this kind of garbage?
No, actually.
There's not even any taters in the soup.
I agree with you on
Potatoes.
that. I do. I agree with you on that. We want more potatoes. That's what it is.
So
Potatoes and carrots.
are you going outside or what?
Yeah, might as well. I will go smoke outside.
Okay.
Well,
Because I-
Malachi is okay with it, so it's socially acceptable for him.
Go outside and retch all over the place.
Forcing it out.
Ooh, I can't handle the scroll.
So Solo sees Bryn just stumble out of the tavern, and he's just like holding his stomach, and he's like going to the lawn. He's just like yakking, trying to get this bile and this food out of him, just trying to throw it all out.
I'm gonna start making a scene. I'm on the bar. I'm gonna make a scene. Are those candles? I'm gonna kick them off.
You're kicking them off?
All right.
So are you yelling and stuff also, or what?
Yeah.
And so the adventurers over here, they're looking at the halfling like, bloody halfling's half drunk.
So it's like start shaking his head.
They start cheering and they're clapping their tankards against the table going and singing a song while Flynn's up there kicking the candles away.
I demand an explanation for this.
So while you're yelling and stuff, the barkeeper, he peeks out, like you see the door open. He's like looking. He's like, "Do I see a bloody halfling on my bar? What are you doing there?" And then you hear more thumping. He's like, "Get off my tavern!" Whatever. Get off my bar! And you see him just duck back in the kitchen.
Can I see anything here?
I am going to stumble back into the building, my face pale.
Uh-huh.
Are you invisible?
I'm still visible, yes. I'm like, hand on the door as I walk in. I'm like, I can't handle this. I can't. Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the rest of my stew at the door of the kitchen and say, "Hey, come back when you have some real food."
So for Solo, you see that there are there's a window right there, and you see that they are going. This is for Solo only, so not for you guys. There's there seems to be some type of stairway past a far table, and they seem to be going up and down there. Especially when he heard Flynn up there, he comes up. You hear him yell something out the tavern to Flynn, and you see him shut the door and then run back down.
Yeah, we got a troll underneath our.
Whatever, it's chained up.
Call it.
Don't care about the troll. We care about our money. This is garbage.
It's a 4 silver. Go for it, dude. Start a brawl.
Do I see where he kept his money?
That would be on him, probably. You could do a perception check. Roll.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to stumble to the bar.
Are you stealthing right now, Flynn, or what?
Nope.
Okay, so you hop over the bar, and then these adventurers, this hunting party here, just start standing up like, that bloody halfling's not drunk, and then they start yelling for the bartender to come back up. And Bryn, what are you doing over there at the tavern?
I'm observing.
Okay, the bartender comes out, and he's like, "What's going on?" And because the people in the mill are making all this ruckus, and he sees Flynn behind his bar. He's like, "What are you doing here?"
I demand better service and better food than this for what we paid, I said very intimidatingly.
Can I sneak in? Can I sneak in through here?
I guess I get a penalty because I'm little.
It's a frosted square sectional window with each one's a frame. So you have to break in if you wanted to. Not that you know of. It doesn't seem to be one that opens. It's more just for light to come in and out. It's not like there's a thing to like open it. It's just a set in the stone window. So Flynn, you're saying you demand satisfaction? He's like, "Did I not give you stew?"
Say, yeah, that wasn't stew. That was just rotten meat in a bowl with some water and some garbage.
It's stew.
Wow. Say, we want real food.
Wow.
He's like, "Am I supposed to make it, Your Highness?"
Yeah, we paid real money for this. We demand real food.
"I gave you stew." And then you hear this thumping again. He's like, his eyes roll up, and he looks agitated right now. He's like, "Get off my counter!" And it's like he's almost at the verge of throwing you out, but he's sort of preoccupied, and he runs back in.
I run in. Can I tell him, "Hey, try to distract them. There's 2 guys. I want to see what's in there."
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can do that. Hang on, what's it called?
Well, whatever you do, get them over there.
Or
just distract them. And somebody maybe even sneak in this way. Through this way. Behind him.
All right. Well, with my
because he comes out this way, right? To look at you. Just sneak in this way.
Well, if that's the case, then what I'll do is I'll breathe in some smoke, cast my spell of precipitation, and convert the smoke into something.
You do that,
So you're
Frank.
using prestidigitation to turn the smoke into
creatures of some kind, trying
Oh, okay.
to distract.
trying to distract him. Okay.
A
Yeah,
magic trick. A magic trick.
what it is back.
So Flynn, what are you doing? Because he told you to get off the bar and then he left.
Well, I mean, Solo asked for a distraction, and I'm a bard. I can definitely do that. I'm getting on the this other table, and I'm gonna do fascinate. I've never done this before. Hang on, I'm still reading about it.
Yeah, it's like they get attracted to you and they're like, "Whoa, that's cool."
I'm sneaking in here,
Uh-huh.
so if he does somehow and get distracted, I'm gonna try to roll a stealth. I
Okay.
want to sneak behind him. I want to see what's in there.
Okay. And Bryn, you are smoking.
Yeah, I'm just smoking, converting the smoke into little men and stuff like that.
You make like a little remnant of a stumpy, something that you fought earlier that day, and you have these like little wisps of tendrils. And it's just sitting there, and you're sort of like, "Hey, that was a good battle."
Yeah, it was.
When you start doing that, Flynn, these adventurers, these hunters, turn to you as you start, jumping on the table, yelling and talking and singing. I presume.
Yeah, I'm totally telling them the story of our battle earlier in what I thought was the dark woods they were talking about, but must not have been. But telling them about the creatures we fought.
Okay, so they're in an assumption it is the dark woods, because you guys you didn't give them any reference, but
Yeah.
you're reciting this tale, this ballad that you sort of made up on the fly, a rhythmical poem about the battle that you had, and these guys are all like listening to you, and they're sort of like awestruck.
So as he's describing the creatures, I'll create them with the smoke.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
they're turning around back and forth, looking at Bryn and looking at Flynn, and they're sort of understanding this battle that just occurred, and that happens for a few more minutes.
The guy's not coming out.
Something.
The guy's not coming out.
Man.
Open the door.
Go in, stealth
No,
in there.
we're supposed to distract him so he comes out.
No, you guys are distracting the patrons.
Yeah.
You're not distracting the bartender.
You
But
might
it's
have
better-
to go fight him. Come on, go do something.
No, get back on the bar table. Make him come out and chase you off again.
You okay?
It's better to calm the people
And-
inside the bar.
I'm telling how I shot down the vine monster, and I told him to pull out my bow and shoot this other thing that's on the bar.
So you're starting to do like feats of archery.
Yeah, I'm shooting some of the goblets off of it.
Okay, so the
Wait,
adventures here.
who's the one with the stealth cloak? Is that Frank?
I don't
No.
think anyone does.
I don't think anyone has one.
Oh,
I've
I
never-
thought somebody
never
said
protected
they were
one.
disguising themselves.
So-
Okay.
These adventurers in the middle that are obviously intoxicated and they're drunk off their butts are starting to point out things in the tavern, telling Flynn to shoot. He's like, "Bet you can't hit that candle over there," and they're like, "Bet you can't hit the shield on the wall." And so they're sort of pointing this out, and Flynn's just like, "No problem." He's like, behind the back, arrow shots. Go and roll some, some 1d20s. See what you're hitting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See if you impress them.
And as he's shooting the arrows, I'll just use the smoke as a screen or something.
It's like smoke all over the place.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd make it all impressive if
So-
I can.
For the most part, you're hitting your targets left and right that they're asking. And like one of your arrows, like you quench the flame of a candle, like all cheering, and they're starting to yell. And then you hear the barkeeper, like the door swings open again. The barkeeper's like, "What bloody hell's going on here again?" And he's sitting out here. Solo, can you roll your stealth check?
Yes. Come on, something good. Stealth check.
No!
No.
14. Let me do a perception roll on him.
Dang.
Totally
There's
did a backflip though. Dude, 36. That was definitely a backflip.
Yeah, you do a backflip off
Three.
the table, and you are like right next to this barkeeper. You could smell odors off of him, like
Smells
unbathed odors. Like the flagon
mean-
that you drank has the same odor as he does, which is rank. And he doesn't see you right now, and you're sort of like crouched underneath the cupboards that are there, and you're sort of underneath the table that has all these cups.
Go well.
And he's sort of like yelling at Flynn right now.
Can I sneak past him here?
Dude,
You
I'm
could
totally
crawl
getting
underneath.
tell me
you could
can't
crawl
catch
underneath
me
the
as I
table.
cast.
You
What's
see
it
him, he's
called?
starting to like
Expedition
wave
Street.
the smoke that is around Bryn, going, "You trying to start a fire here?" He's like trying to get.
Go.
So go ahead and
Yeah.
roll. Roll one more stealth while you're at it.
Well, while he's doing that, I'll cast Mage Hand, grab the bottom of his apron,
Yes!
and pull it over his head.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. Very
Just
nice.
pull it over his head and hope that he gets past it.
Gone.
Okay. So
That's 7 for me.
okay.
Thanks, guys.
He's oblivious to Solo sneaking around. He doesn't hear him as Solo gently like pushes open the door and goes in and he closes the door behind him. And he's
Is there any way to
inside the
lock it?
kitchen right now. Not that you know of. This is more of one of those swinging doors. It's not like there's a lock to it. Bryn does this little prestidigitation trick and like the apron like sort of like flips up real quick. He's like, what the bloody hell? He's like moving his hands and he gets everything in order. He's like looking around and the smoke is starting to clear out and Flynn does like this majestic backflip off this bar table and he's standing there, ta-da! And like these adventurers in the middle are all like cheering him on. And then you hear the barkeeper like,
oh no, oh no.
he starts coming up to you, he's like, and he's gonna try to grab you.
Okay.
Oh man, you just that
Going
backflip.
downstairs.
I escaped.
Draw my sword.
Yeah, you just duck underneath him. He's like, I told you, off the tables.
Can't catch me.
Yes! Yes, Mark.
Okay,
Lay it into him.
so Solo. So what is everyone else doing at this time besides
I'm gonna
Flynn?
sneak
Yeah,
downstairs.
Solo.
basically
I just
making
sneak down.
focus. He just actually I'm just gonna watch.
Okay, Duncan's just like sort of putting his head down, like the the palm to the head, just like, what is going on here? Yeah. So you see Cringer, and he's like at the windowsill, looking at Solo inside the kitchen. He's like sort of like scraping at the window. What are you gonna give him? What are you gonna tell him to do?
Just
Or what do you
watch.
tell her to do?
Keep an eye out for
You told
the,
you
for
told
the door,
Sol,
I guess.
you told Cringer to just keep her eye out, and she sort of like gets down. It's like, and she's just like walking around, pacing, back and forth in front of this tavern, just going back and forth, back and forth. So like looking up at the window every now and then. And what are you gonna do, Sol?
Okay. Can I go downstairs?
Yep.
There should be another guy. I gotta drop my sword.
Okay.
What?
So
I gotta
you're gonna-
do it. I don't know what's
Oh.
down there. There's a guy
Okay.
there down there already. I have to defend
Tavern. This is
myself.
a family establishment.
Yeah,
so
this is
go
getting-
ahead.
Alright.
So
No,
go
'cause
ahead and
I think-
roll.
I think because you guys were talking to me about how you think there's a troll down there, so I'm gonna check. And if there's a
Right.
troll, go ahead.
So go ahead and roll a stealth check while you're going downstairs.
Oh, dang it.
Oh my god.
Wait, oops, wrong one. Dang it, this is not gonna be good.
You got it. Oh.
Yeah.
Only one.
Okay, so let me set this up.
Uh-oh. It's gonna
Oh man, I might need some help here.
Yep. There it is.
What is that? That's a troll.
Oh, I told you. You guys.
Yeah.
So
I kinda
Solo's
get-
coming down the stairs, and he
The guy see me?
sees. Huh?
Can the
So
guy
far,
see
the
me?
guy doesn't see you. His back's to you. He's sort of more focused at the troll right now, and you see the troll is just like it's trying to move its hands, and there's these giant sort of chains that's sort of entrapping this troll. And you look, and there's sort of like something that you put on a fishing boat. These huge like anchor chains, and it's bolted to the floor. And you see like a ball gag in its mouth, so it's not able to like say anything.
Oh wow.
And you look at, taking a brief scan of this room, you see this sort of like worker right in front of you at the base of the stairs. He's not aware of you just yet. You're about 10 feet away from you. He's at the bottom of the
Bring out-
stairs,
Yep.
and he's just like in.
Yeah, exactly. Jim.
He's sort of like in awe, looking at the troll, sort of like,
Oh
what
my
do I
gosh.
do? He's sort of like
Oh.
sitting there. You see a barrel adjacent to him with a little plate and a little knife.
Oh.
He's cutting pieces of flesh
Yeah,
off.
he's cutting them.
And
Yeah.
right now he doesn't seem to be doing that because the troll's like thrashing around. And
Wait, do I see anything on the troll like chunks of flesh like taken off?
yeah, you see a little bit of green blood coming down from him, and you see a few wounds on him that are slowly resealing.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he sees me.
And they don't seem to be aware of you just yet. That you're sort of at the top level of the stairs, so the troll only can see your feet, and maybe he's assuming that you're the barkeeper or something else, but he doesn't really see you yet. And
Okay.
you see the troll just like yanking on the chains, and this guy starts running to where the chains are to make sure that they're fastened into the cement or the ground that it's at firmly, that they're not wiggling. So he's down there trying to like assess the chains and the bolting. The troll's like
He's so
just trying to flex. Okay.
That's all I needed to know. I mean, that it was there. I'm not gonna take the troll on by myself.
What we kind of assumed.
Yes. And
Okay.
that's what you're eating.
So go ahead and roll a stealth when you depart.
Dang it. Come on, something good. Good. Yes.
Like a ninja. You notice that some of the wood on the stairs is broken, and you're trying to avoid that area, not to make any creaking.
Oh,
And you start
man.
running near the edge of the wall where it's a lot more fastened and secured to the wall, and you're climbing back up, and you make it to the kitchen, and you peek through, and you just see that you hear the barkeeper yelling at Flynn.
Dude, I'm totally like upturning all the dishes because I demand that we get better food.
Ah.
Than this garbage.
Can you
This
guys see me
barkeeper
here? And
starts
then you can
chasing
make a.
The drinks are good.
You can see me here so that you guys can make more of a distraction.
But definitely need better food than this because that's what's upset about me. That's
Bryn
what I'm
sees
upset
you.
about.
Bryn sees you peek out the door, and you're sort of like looking at him saying, "Is the ghost clear? Can I get out of there?" What do you do, Bryn?
All right. So I put my tankard down, cast presentation, and make it like sparks are flying out of my flying out of my cup. As I walk further down the bar,
It's like 4th of July.
Ooh, sparkly drink, sparkly drink.
Check this out, guys. Is this cool or what?
You're like walking around, and fountains of like little fires and little like sparks are like coming at you. You're like Mr. like 4th of July, kapow kapow. And like
Yes.
these drunkards are just like laughing at this, this barkeeper trying to chase Flynn. He's coming around the bar right now, and Flynn is like running away, and Bryn is like casting sparks out of him, and Duncan is just even more going, "Oh, jeez, Louise." So you feel as
Like
if
a
it's a
zoo.
good point to get to hightail out of there if you want.
Is it time? Can I
Yeah.
go?
You feel
Okay.
go ahead and make a stealth
Roll.
check. Or are you stealthing or are you just running?
Stealthing.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
that's-
you get about here and you're like hiding against the wet bar, this bar, and you see that the innkeeper's all the way at the other end. He's sort of looking at Flynn, which is like directly in the between you guys. So you don't feel
Yeah.
as if you could cross the bar just yet.
Okay.
So as he's doing that, I'll say, "Great beer!" And then I chuck the flagon at the wall, right on the opposite of the
Whoa, you're gonna pay for that one, huh?
right here.
Okay.
We already
Okay.
did.
Again!
So-
Again!
Jets-
Another one!
Can you
Mainly
roll
to
a
distract.
roll a attack on that?
Mazel tov! What?
Mazel tov.
What am I rolling? Oh, I'm rolling?
No, Bryn. Can you roll a attack? Just a 1d20. Click the macro if you
See
want.
how masculine you become. Throw that chalice.
Oh!
Oh, it hurt you! It hurt you, Frank! Oh,
Yo.
yes!
It doesn't get
You-
better than that.
Unfortunately, Bryn, you forget that you're throwing gouts of fire coming out of your fingers as you chuck this highly flammable hard liquor. It bursts to flames while you throw it with a little prissy throw, and the barkeeper ducks, but it smacks him full in the head, and it's just he's sort of on fire now because he has this hard liquor that's flammable,
You attacked him.
and he's drenched in this, and it's starting to burn him right now.
It's
Maybe
burning.
hold his apron
Party's over.
Yeah, I know,
from
really.
out with his own apron.
All of a sudden, you guys hear another thunk, and this thump's happening each time the troll is trying to get out of his chains, and you hear like the groaning and creaking of this tavern underneath, as like you think that his head is starting to hit the top part of the ceiling of where he is.
Yeah, we totally took it too far. I go over and cure light wounds on him.
Please join us next time as we journey through the world of Astar.